Hi there folks, my name is Bradley Greger, the host of Sci-Fi Fan Friday, and welcome to episode 3. This week we're talking about the Oculus Rift. It's a virtual reality headset that's been on the developer market now for a little while, and I had the opportunity to use one for quite a number of days, and I'll be showing you some clips playing Half-Life 2, Hawkin, and also a helicopter simulator, and some of my insights and thoughts about how all that works and what it looks like. You'll also get to see the two separate screens on the monitor, what the view would look like if you're just looking at it like normally versus the view that I see. You won't be able to see that because there's two separate screens and so on, but you'll see the kind of the view, the way that it works out on the monitor, and why it works to have two different scenes for each eye. So I hope you're looking forward to this episode. It was really cool to play with some really high-tech technology and a high-tech gadget, and really kind of delve into the stuff that we thought was just science fiction just a few years ago, and how ubiquitous it's becoming and easy to use and implement with your PC, your Mac, your gaming console, whatever it is, and how it's really going to be the future. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on Half-Life 2. Alright everyone, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to show you a couple of games that I've been able to get working with the Oculus Rift. Now, I have two games in particular. The first one I would like to show you is Half-Life 2. It's a little bit older game, but it does have support. Adjust my volume here for the Oculus Rift, and get this screen capture going. So you can see everything loading, and you can get a sense of what these two different screens look like. Now you're not going to see what I'm seeing in regards to the two different. You got two screens here that you can see. I only see one screen, which is 3D, but I'm able to look around. The nice thing about this is that the hand is mostly, there's a zone here where you can move without affecting your view before you start to turn, but you can free look all you want with the headset. So I can look back behind myself and see the fire over there, look over this way as well, or I can turn all the way around using my mouse and go take a look at this. One of the great things about this as well is that with the head tracking on the headset, I can look almost down the sight of my pistol there. So it changes your whole perspective as though it is, like in real life. It hits up display indicators. I can see in this corner life and power suit energy. Over in this corner I can see the amount of ammo that I have in my pistol. So total ammo, as well as what's currently in the pistol. So I've got to get through this section here. It's always surprising, even more so with the VR headset. So I duck down here. And you can see I can move and look. Looking kind of moderately affects where you move. But I've often found myself in the beginning of this game just looking around and kind of having my jaw open because I'm seeing things that I've never seen before. Never even thought to look at it. So, yeah. I don't want that thing to eat me or attack me. You can see it did manage to get somebody at some point, because that's a steady. And we'll just leave that there because I don't need somebody's head. I do have a flashlight as well, and what's great is that it's independent to a certain degree of well, it's just like you're holding a real flashlight, like right here. So, move around. And this game does kind of give me a sense of vertigo at certain times. I've done some reading on it. It seems to be just the nature of, the experience, like looking around and moving your head. Save that and exit this game. Save. So there's Half-Life 2. Next up, we're going to try Hawkin. And that game I think it's a lot better. It's a lot easier to go with. Alright, so now that you've had a taste of Half-Life 2, we're going to move on to a robot simulator. It's more like, they call them mechs. You drive them around, these giant robots, and of course you shoot at bad guys. It's an action-paced kind of a game. And the difference being that it has a cockpit to simulate that you're in the robot. So, without further ado, I'll give you the Oculus Rift version of Hawkin.
Okay, so let's get into the demo of Hawkin with the Oculus Rift. Go ahead and load that up here. I'm just training with some artificial intelligence, some robots. The concept behind Hawkin is that you are a human pilot in a giant mech robot. You can see I'm looking around here inside of the cockpit, just getting a general view of things. You can't normally do this in the game with the normal monitor. So having the heads-up display and being able to look around and so on is it's a new experience. My mech here that I'm driving, the giant robot, is able to repair other allies, other robots. So that's that gold kind of shimmering weapon that you see firing on the right-hand side. One thing to note is the field of view here, and it's fairly limited in the Oculus Rift. So I can see just up to the top of where the timer is counting and the scoreboard is on the top there. And then down below, I can see just below, you can see the fuel gauge underneath my hit points, which are blinking crazily right now. This is a very action-packed, game. And but that white bar underneath the blue health bar that was going up there just a moment ago, that's about as low as I can see in the Oculus Rift. I'm using my jump jets here to fly around and maneuver. And that's why you can see the fuel dropping now down into the red line. But being able to look around in-game gives you a different, I was looking to the left there, gives you a different situational awareness than you would normally get. And so being able to move around and look around independently of each other is that's the new experience here with the Oculus Rift. And I think they've done a really good implementation for the most part. Credits to the Hawkin team for creating something that feels as seamless as this is. One thing to note, even with all this jumping around and this craziness in general, I don't get the motion sickness and vertigo experience that I got when I was playing Half-Life. It's a lot better in this game, so I could look over here and move and not have any weird feelings in my gut. So now as we transition back over, coming up on the end of the game here, you can see just using the jump jets and kind of flying around and attacking this other giant mech that's over here, all the while being able to look around and experience the world. And that's the game. There's my little robot. Training is complete, and gonna call that good. That's the end of the game.
Okay, there you have it. That's what it kind of looks like to be inside of a giant robot running around shooting other giant robots. So that was Hawkin. It's a game that's still under pre-release. It's kind of under development, and you can get in early via Steam and download it to your PC and play it that way. Up next, I've got a helicopter simulator. It's really kind of a cool simulator. It's very simple. It's not a finished game or release title by any means. But it does give you a sense of what it would be like to fly a helicopter and some of the potential that could be there for training and development for real pilots out in the real world. So let's check out the helicopter simulator. Headset on, so you can look around here. You see the helicopter's already fired up, and colors rotating. So look around. There's my shoulder. There's that shoulder. On the left side, first aid kit, rifle. I do have a passenger, as it turns out. There's some dude hanging out back there. Rotors spinning ahead, up above, overhead. One of the neat things is positionally the head tracking on the headset. I can look back and there's a star on the side of the helicopter. Or if I tilt over this way, like I can't see. So it really gives me a sense of like where I am inside of the cockpit, or like this, part of the door right here, background behind me, and even my shoulders and seatbelts seem to be in the appropriate kind of, physical locations. Find my keyboard again. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take off and fly around for a minute and show you what's what. Yeah. But this is a big ship, as it turns out. And just looking around at the scale of it, it's not run into anything now. Yeah, those models are not finished. They're just all, because they're just one color. But the ship seems to be mostly finished, so that's pretty cool. Beach. Imagine, this will be really handy for a lot of training for various different kinds of pilots. Especially helicopter pilots, like being able to do all this. And just kind of drop down. Yep, so there we are back at home. No disasters of any kind or anything. And, that's the flying experience in the virtual helicopter. There you have it. Pretty cool. Alright, there you have it. We've just wrapped up with the helicopter simulator. As you can see, it's really quite realistic, especially being able to look over at your shoulder and seeing the guy behind me and some of the different views inside the helicopter as well as down below, trying to figure out how to land and put your landing gear on the helipad and so on. So again, great potential there for simulators for training and development of real pilots, give them a sense of what it's going to be like for them once they get into an actual aircraft without actually being in it yet. So there's a lot of cost savings that can be realized there in terms of the equipment and the aircraft itself, being able to train a lot more people a lot more quickly, and just at a lower cost. Having multiple headsets, multiple computers is a lot less expensive than having multiple aircraft for sure. So that being said, we took a look at Half-Life 2 and saw what it was like to run around in a little first-person shooter and get a sense of how that future gaming story building kind of concept can work itself out. We saw Hawkin, where you're driving around in a giant mechanized robot, and you have your heads-up display that moves with you while you're inside of the cockpit of this particular robot. And then also with the helicopter simulator, again, being inside of the cockpit of a drivable vehicle, if you will, and seeing what it's like to have that virtual world and being able to explore all of that. Okay, so lots of potential there for training and education as well as fun and games. Eventually they're going to start having interactive movies where you're a character in the movie and so on, and you can walk through and play through and stuff like that. So a lot of different concepts, stuff we haven't probably even thought up yet that we'll be able to use with virtual reality. And a lot of this stuff got its start in science fiction, people imagining the future and what it would be like in order to learn the experience, whether it was the Matrix or whatever, where you're in this fake reality to learn your skills and develop yourself better. It's really cool to see some of those things coming to fruition. Also, again, much like in the book Ready Player One, where he does the same kind of concept of getting the headset and interacting with this digital world. So that's pretty much it that I have for there. Thanks again for viewing. I appreciate all of your support. Remember, the YouTube videos are always free, and I could always use your help. I'm looking to upgrade some equipment, so getting a better microphone, getting some lights so I don't have to rely so much on natural lighting, my skylight here, and so on, and just bring you and develop better shows. So please visit my Patreon page It's patreon.com/sci-fi Bradley. Donate what you can. You can set a limit every month so you don't have to, go over budget. But $1 here, $5 there, it really helps, and I would appreciate it if you would join my Patreon family. Help me reach some of my goals for upgrading equipment. That way I can bring you better and more videos every Friday, Sci-Fi Fan Friday. So thanks for watching. Again, I'm your host, Bradley Greger. Have a good weekend.